Hi there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you found me. I'm so glad. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate your support. All right, so I'm kind of embarrassed about this movie review because it is many months in the coming. Back when I saw this movie in January, I was so sick and didn't have the energy to film it. So I thought, okay, it's too late. I'm not going to review this film. However, I think it's an important one, especially if you are a movie fan and a cinephile. You definitely need to know about this documentary called Only in Theaters. It premiered in select theaters and is now available to stream online. The movie is PG. I mean, documentaries don't generally get like movie ratings like in the movie theaters. But that's about the score I would give it anyway. It's an hour and 34 minutes. And the movie review mom grade I'm going to give it is an A minus. I thought it was really well done. And I really enjoyed learning so much about the Lemley brothers. So I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines or interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you should definitely see as well. Okay, you ready to dive in a nutshell? So, when was the last time you saw a movie in an actual theater? Streaming has certainly changed how people watch movies. And then the pandemic changed everything about our movie watching even more. Well, movie theaters are now open, but some people are still wearing masks and not going to crowded places like movie theaters. So comment down below. Let me know what you think and what you're doing about watching movies and how you're doing it. There's been a Lemley in the movie business ever since there's been a movie business. Their beloved art house cinema chain with an astonishing Hollywood legacy has for 4 generations been dedicated to the elevated art of filmmaking and the filmmakers who make them, responsible for bringing foreign film to Los Angeles and popularizing countless foreign independent films and their filmmakers. The Lemley Theater's impact on Hollywood and world cinema cannot be overstated. So, filmed over 2.5 years, only in theaters, the documentary chronicles this Lemley family business and their determination to survive. But in a changing world, this is also a story about the future of cinema. So the documentary was directed by Raphael Sbarge, who was nominated for an Emmy for directing LA Foodways. He explained that he didn't want this to be just another pandemic story. Instead, he wanted to share a story about a family that wants to continue doing what they love, giving us movies. He said, quote, the idea that a family would have a personal mission of wanting to support artists in a world which is so corporate and so big fish eating small fish, so impersonal, there was something really remarkable and unique about that, end quote. All right, so there were a lot of things I really liked about this movie. First of all, the film features interviews with Ava DuVernay, Cameron Crowe, James Ivory, and Nicole Holofcener. I'm sure I didn't say that name correctly, among others. So many of them talk about the magic of movies and the power that movies have to change lives. And I 100% agree. Watching a movie in a theater filled with strangers can be absolutely transforming as everyone laughs or cries together, reacting to what's happening on the screen. And then that movie theater popcorn is amazing. So, because I love movies so much, I wanted to watch this documentary and learn about the people that had a hand in shaping Hollywood. So, I loved the memory shared by Oscar winning screenwriter and director Bruce Joel Rubin. He remembers the moment when he graduated from loving movies to loving cinema. He explained, quote, one was appealing to my sense of escapism, and one was talking to my psyche, end quote. It was heartbreaking to watch the financial hit that the Lemley Theater took during the pandemic. Like all theaters when lockdown shut down everything in the world. It's fun to meet various members of the Lumley family in the movie and watch how they have supported one another and the movie making industry. It was also really nice hearing people talk about the impact that the Lumley theaters had on their lives, particularly about movies. And how wonderful to learn about a family that played such a big role in bringing small, unknown, and independent films to the big screen, especially foreign films. Now, not every movie is going to be a Hollywood blockbuster, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be seen, and they could be seen at the Lumley Theater. The message of the documentary is clear: support your local movie theater. All right. Now, with all of that praise, there were some things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better or differently. For example, it would have been fun to hear them talk about what happened when they had a huge movie premiere at their theater, or when they met celebrities, or even look at the funny blunders that happen when running a movie theater. At times, the film felt like an infomercial a little bit to promote Lumley's art house theaters in order to keep them open. Now, if you know that going in and you're happy to support them, then I think you're really going to enjoy this documentary. Let me give you some tips for parents. I think kids are going to be bored because it's just adults talking. There are no action sequences and, running around and celebrities and that kind of thing. There is a lot of talk of running a business and the challenges to make it be financially successful. So maybe older teens might appreciate and learn from that, especially if they're cinephiles. There's no profanity in the movie. Yay, that's always good. And there is some talk about some of the small art house cinemas changing their course to feature porn films. So while talking, we see shots of clothed women's cleavage, but there's nothing super scandalous, but just a heads up on that. So some of the themes that are definitely illustrated in the film are legacy, business challenges, supporting local businesses, the power of film, the power of community, family support, persistence, hope, hard work, and belief in a dream. I love that. So whenever I watch movies, I always take notes. And even if I'm sitting in a dark theater with a bunch of people, I'm still taking notes. And, I've learned to kind of feel the paper and feel where my pen is so I can write. And then when I get home and I look at my notes, I'm like, But anyway, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply to share with you so you can get a taste and feel for the script or the dialogue that's in the film. Now, in this case, I didn't write down any funny lines. It's not necessarily a comedy, but I did write down some interesting lines that I wanted to share with you. And I have them all written on my moviereviewmom.com website, so you can see them all there. So some of the interesting lines I thought were by Lumley. Family members were saying all these various things. One of them said, there is a privilege to storytelling. And I love that because it's absolutely true. I'm an author and an author coach. And I love working with my fiction authors, especially because they have a story to tell and they're so creative and so imaginative. My nonfiction author clients also have a story to tell in where they've learned a lesson in life and they want to share that message. And I always tell them, share a story in each chapter because you don't want it to read, like a textbook or an instructional manual. Storytelling is everything. And so I love that this family is so committed to allowing other artists to share their stories in their theaters. And then here's another quote from a woman. She said, I love the intimate experience of being in a movie theater, that I'm connected to something very powerful. There's something very hallowed about it. And I agree. I love going and watching a movie in the theater, hearing the audience's reaction, especially when I take my husband, because he'll laugh at really clever things that often I and the rest of the audience miss. And then his laughter is super contagious. And it's just this group community experience that is so bonding. I really enjoy it. And then complete strangers who entered the theater now leave the theater chatting with each other. And I love that. And then that movie theater popcorn too, of course. All right, so let me give you some recommendations for some other films that I think that you might also be interested in. One is Sunset Boulevard. Now that is a fictional story feature film, but it's about the movie business. And my second movie is the same. It's called Singing in the Rain, and it's about that movie making business and the people that come together to create magic on the big screen. Anyway, those are oldies but goodies, and certainly an illustration of the magic of movies. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope that if you watch this documentary that you enjoy it, soak it all in, and then go out and see a movie. By the way, when you get a minute, run over to Instagram and follow me at Trina Boice, which is my author page, but you'll also see all my movie reviews as they go up the minute they're live. And then also I've got a Facebook group called, guess what? Movie Review Mom. So join that group and you'll have a lot of fun with the memes and the polls and all the silly stuff that we have that we talk about movies over there. All right, have a fantastic day and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.